Hello, hello. Y'all, I am pumped for this video. I'm so happy to be back home. Been gone forever. Gave y'all a little teaser video and just poof, I was gone. So let's see. First question that I have to cover in this video. How do you go on vacation every other week? Easy. I got $5,000 worth of credit card debt. I'm just kidding. So May was very, very busy. I knew it would be. Girlfriend booked a trip forever ago, and my project's about to go. My 3-year project is about to go live, and it wasn't. The dates got moved anyway. So she took 2 weeks off, and I said can't do that. So we did a 1 week trip. Um, Simultaneously, I had a wedding earlier this week, and then I went to Kansas twice. I don't even know if I've been home this month. Um, got home on Memorial Day. It was very nice. I am working remote this week. Checked all my stuff, got everything ready to go, and I can do a video that I've been wanting to show, a deck I've been wanting to do, and answer a couple questions, show y'all some fun stuff as tournament season is really ramping up. Um, what else was there? Kind of like a small compact defense and deck building, kind of what goes through my mind, the deck building process. So I have a draft of a deck. It's 11 cards in the reserve. It is a 52 card deck. So if this is not legal, you would have to take out a card in the reserve um, in order to play this at a tournament. But we're going to go through my deck building process. So, what else do I have? Um, I will be gone. Let's see, my little calendar. Does it show? Not all of it. I'm going to be gone next week, the week after, and potentially the week after that for my project. So at minimum 2 weeks, maximum 3 weeks, and then that's it. I am done traveling. I'm done traveling. So, and no vacations. No more vacations. Alrighty. So what do we have here? This is called Tomb Raider. So this is kind of a take on See the Trees take on Soul Surfer. I really like Empty Tomb. I think it has one of the most versatile, flexible, best heroes in the game in Resurrection Revealer. It can really use a lot of pieces of GOC, kind of mix and match. And you can kind of manipulate the board how you want and do a lot of fun things. Credit to Jared. He said you can just move Resurrection Revealer in and out while you have Empty Tomb out. And you can just bounce their evil characters all over the place, right? So if they have Herod's Temple down, you just got to make sure that you can get around Herod's Temple, which not 100% of the time, but a high majority of the time, I'm trying to use 3 woes as evil to negate their Herod's Temple for both my Roman Destroys Jerusalem and for my bouncing of their evil characters. So what are we trying to do? We are trying to maximize turn 1. We want good blocks, we want resources, and we want strong attacks. You will notice I do not have proper soul gen in here. This is a draft. I try to build out my deck and then see where am I lacking, where could this be better, and I will always fit, for me, 3 soul gen pieces in the deck. It's hard to do when I'm playing Meeks, so probably the defense might change, and maybe Meeks would come out. I originally had Harvest Time in here, so for Burial, so that's something I would look at. I wanted Bartholomew in reserve. It's another option I would look at. So Harvest Time, Changing Souls, and a Soul Gen hero, probably what I would do. You could also have Ends of the Earth. That's fine as well. And if you have Ends of the Earth, then you can play Harvest Time and a different soul package that protects your hand. I think that's the better play. We're just having some fun with this defense, that's all. So, what does it do? It's called Tomb Raider, so we know it's Empty Tomb. We see Empty Tomb. A lot of fortresses, a lot of artifacts for me. I really think support cards are key to the meta this year. I think fortresses are very good, and you get a lot of value from them, especially in a one territory class enhancement world. We talked about this on our channel months and months ago, where I thought the meta would shift, or deck building would shift more towards support cards instead of enhancements. So we can see that here. So we're really trying to get a lot of value turn one. So from a deck building process, Redemption, you win through offense, which I like D heavy, especially in this meta. When you can have a small, compact offense that can still attack every turn, I really like D heavy. I think D heavy could do very well at nationals too if piloted and played correctly, and built correctly, of course. But D heavy videos are not as fun to watch, right? So Redemption is king or offense is king in Redemption. Edit. Take two. You need to have ways to multiple attacks. John Hendricks asked at Alabama State the other week, what do you think the best turn one attacks are? I mean, of course, Matthew, but his first thing was outside of Matthew. I think Simon Peter to flip and Herod's Temple is a phenomenal attack. Justin Martyr's great. Woman with Child, not seeing play anymore. I wanted Mary Holy Virgin in here as well, but I do have Justin Martyr, and I have Angel from the Sun, and I have Angel of the Winds, and I'm looking for very strong turn one rescues. The Woman with Child also allows for me to go straight to Crowd's Choice, Son of God, and the Resurrection. Son of God, Resurrection, and Crowd's Choice. The Resurrection turn one is extremely strong. If I can go out with Woman and Child, and I can grab the Resurrection, I can play the Resurrection pre-block if I want. And I already played Resurrection, so Mary wouldn't negate. Now you can block me from hand. I can take a good New Testament card from deck, and I would also negate characters and enhancements. So that's very strong. I'd immediately go into pretty much any fortress I deem necessary. That's a very strong turn one rescue. We all know what Justin Martyr does. One with Trial just isn't seeing play anymore, so I kind of thought she should. Joanna, Empty Tomb. I would say Empty Tomb has like the best turn one rescues overall. Joanna, if blocked from hand, because I say turn one, Empty Tomb, you pretty much have to block from hand. Toss the next evil enhancement played in battle. And if it's turn one, I get a draw two as well. I'm not going to go to my reserve on turn one. We all know what Lazzy does. He pretty much converts himself to negate evil cards, and then he's a 5/6, gets to draw one. Not bad. We have our angels that turn into whatever they want. Resurrection Revealer can either go straight to Resurrection, and once again, we can play one of our 4 Empty Tomb heroes with Resurrection, assuming we didn't draw any as well. We can ban one of them. We can search and ban one in and get a fortress. All 4 of our fortresses are GOC, so Resurrection will play all of them. You don't have to play Resurrection first turn. Shipwreck's very common, so you could always play Resurrection later on, and it's fine. You don't need that first turn. So a woman with child could always just rescue and go grab, oh, you numbnuts. Go grab Angel Lord that's not in here. Because Crowd's Choice came in. I had Angel Lord in and out. That's a tough one. Do we keep Ride On? Because I'm a huge Awesome Ride fan. Or do we just go straight to Angel Lord? And a lot of people right now are only going for value up front. They are trying to win the game in 3 turns. They're trying to play quick. They're trying to go straight to rescues. We're trying to do that too. but we built longevity into the deck, and I'll show you how I did that. But yeah, we are not really playing. Is that stacked correctly? I get OCD with this stuff. I was right the first time. No. Beautiful. Okay. A little thing was bothering me. So a lot of people are going for first turn value, which is great. You can jump to a start or jump off to a hot start as long as you can maintain pressure. It's really good. Players are really good right now. Average players have great decks, and average players are better than what average players used to be. You're not going to go to nationals and just play some ROK. ROK is random little kid. You're not just going to sit down and obliterate someone. Yes, it will happen. You'll have 5-0s. Like, that does happen. It's a card game. But I would love to see the amount of 5-0s at this year's nationals and compare it to previous with the same amount of people. So we'll see. And maybe that's something I can do some research on after Nats. That'd be really fun, especially in that little dull moment where it could be difficult to have stuff to talk about, which, heck, we got Roots, we've got Israel's Deliverance, we've got Israel's Rebellion, we've got all sorts of stuff. Roots is being spoiled. Pre-orders for Israel's Deliverance is coming out, and then Israel's Rebellion will be at Nationals, so I'll have plenty of stuff to make. And since I designed Israel's Rebellion, I kind of already have deck lists, right? So there's that. But there's other really cool aspects, and I don't want to just be a deck building channel. I like to talk about other portions. Like after Israel's Rebellion's done, I would love to talk about Rebellion and just go into in detail, like do a little mini series on each theme. What was the premise behind it? Why did this theme have this overlapping ability, kind of? So we'll get into more aspects there. Once again, I always go off tangent. The other aspect that I originally started talking about is how 100 people at Nats. Yes, I can start comparing the 5-0s. I don't think there's going to be as much 5-0s. I think there's going to be a lot of good players with just a lot of good decks. GOC is competitive. Cut it however way you want. GOC is competitive. Whatever theme you want to play, play it. If you know how to play it, it's competitive. People have gravitated towards certain themes early, as we see so often. I compare Empty Tomb to that of Post Exilics. When Phase 2 came out, I was talking to my good friend Jay, and Jay will catch up this week. Poor Jay. I finally picked up the phone one time. I took a break. I was at the client site, and he was like, "Man, what the heck? You actually picked up?" I was like, "I'm sorry, dude." We got to have a great conversation for 20 minutes, talk meta, and it's good because there's very few that I can talk Type 1 and Type 2 at a high level with. So I do enjoy that. But a year ago, Jay and I were talking about Empty Tomb, and I thought that was a offense he would like. And I did think people would not gravitate to Empty Tomb at first because it's a little bit more difficult to play. So, where does that leave us? I don't know, because I've been rambling on. Like I said, I was excited about this video. A lot of strong first turn rescues. Ride On or Angel Alert. I kept going back and forth. A lot of people are going with the turn 1 value. And I'm seeing people lose a little bit of steam at the end. So what you want is, if you continue to put pressure on the opponent, great. If your deck is set up for that, and that doesn't mean you just have a bunch of battle winners in, you have to know what are your attacks. You have to know you need in Type 1 right now about 9 ways to rescue a lost soul. That includes your dominance. You need 9 ways to rescue a lost soul. You need 3 ways to soul gen. And I would say that's a 50 card deck. That's just me in general. That's how I see it. Banding enhancements. That's not a battle winner unless you're playing Affinidab or you're playing Matthias, stuff like that. John the Fisherman could come in here because we also have Joanna and he's an Empty Tomb hero, so I could play banding enhancements. toss the next and bring in Matthias as well and bounce. So that's how a banding enhancement can be considered a battle winner. But for me, it's like, well, you don't really have a lot of battle winners in here. You're right. I have to go back to Empty Tomb and try to kind of recycle my AOC. Um, and then I'm heavily relying on my heroes. So once again, I'm not even following my own deck advice because this is a draft version. I am trying to beat you with heroes. I'm trying to do a little bit of recursion with Untouchable. Overcome goes back into my hand. I might be able to get back Blood of the Lamb, and I have Empty Tomb that can get me back Untouchable, Hospitality, and AOC, and then I have strong bands in general. So then I like to choose a blocker right on with AOC, and have my dominance, of course. Son of God, Second Coming. I like to use Resurrection as an early on battle winner, but it's a banding dominant, so don't know if that's a battle winner or not. So yeah, know what is in your deck to win a battle. So that's key to deck building, having enough rescues. Like I say, if you're relying on your heroes, then make sure you have your ways to get in your heroes. And I say that because I have the Bethany trio, I have strong bands. So it's a little different. Just know how you're winning, and then are you losing steam at the end? Did you go too fast? Are you losing your attacks at the end, or are you kind of building up speed and you don't have early attacks at the beginning that are good? So make sure you look. That's from my deck building, is that I have strong attacks, I generate resources, and I have different ways to attack. I'm not just looking for one thing. A lot of people right now are just going to Matthew because he's Clay, CBI and Clay, gets the hand look, he gets the draw, he's Clay, so you get all these great enhancements, especially, and he's so easy to get turn one. I think you're going to see more Protector at Nationals. This could, like I said, this could easily turn, Burial could turn into Harvest Time. After seeing this list, I might turn Burial into Angel Lord, and we would go into different souls, Protector being one of them, be able to protect our hand first turn, and we have Stricken that also helps against Matthew, and we have Scattered Sheep, which is also a very strong opening hand, especially when I have so many heroes that are phenomenal rescues turn one. You would, if you're going up against me and you have Scattered Sheep in your opening hand, you could mess me up, or Stricken. Like if you have both Stricken and Scattered Sheep in an opening, that can block without having to block. What I mean by that is you can play Stricken, you protect all decks in reserve from opponents during the next battle phase, and then you can Scattered Sheep their non-silver hero, essentially. So you underdeck yours and then their best hero, and leave them with a hero that exchanges, and you just got to block turn one. So that's always nice. Let's see. Yeah, turn one value compared to the rest of the game. I really like when my opponent has a bunch of evil characters down, and I just, Simon, choose the blocker, and then ride on into AOC. CBN, kill the evil character in battle, kill everyone in their territory. That's very, very good. It's essentially you made 2 cards, 5 Angel of Lords, but you lose that turn 1 Angel of Lord. And that's okay for me. Like I said, Burial can still come out for Angel Lord if you want. I like Crowd's Choice in this build because of the Woman with Child and Resurrection Revealer. So I do like Crowd's Choice. You kind of have to have 3 woes in my opinion. The only other thing that I see coming out is Burial or Ride On. So either or. I think that's enough blabbering. I like Book of the Law over Send the Helper in this build, so I can either bounce your human that's not in battle, or since I have 4x activations of Chamber of Angels with either Gabriel or Resurrection. Well, I'm sorry, with only Resurrection Revealer with stable out. I'm sorry, with empty tomb out. Then, uh, if you put an empty tomb hero in play, you may bounce an evil character into territory. I can ensure that my Book of Law is active and that you block from hand, because I can bounce an evil character into territory. So as long as I 3-woes your Herod's Temple, then I'm just bouncing your evil characters. Book of Law is active, and you are blocking from hand. I probably. I'm almost wondering if the Bethany trio comes out completely. And because remember, I have 11 cards in my reserve. So the Bethany trio comes out, and I bring in Salome into the reserve. That's a potential. I'm not sure. Let's see. It blocked from hands, protect lost souls, and this card from evil card. Yeah, so even turn 1, she's really good. I don't have to convert her to get the regardless of protect, but I have a protected 9/4 hero. That's not bad. Now I lose the Bethany trio, um, but I get that turn 1 block. Let's see, identifier is empty, and then the Mary Mother of James is the convert to band. So maybe that'll be better. You know what? Let's do it. I rely too much on the Bethany trio anyway, right? We'll bring in. Let's do that. Now the only two. Well, we're missing 3. Are choose the blocker. And I kept going back and forth because I was having a tough time with getting him out of the reserve. Because remember, I'm trying to go for strong attacks turn 1. That kind of build my offense and put pressure on the opponent. And Joseph of Arimathea, as great of a character as he is, I was having a tough time getting him out of reserve and then having a good attack. Hospitality and Bethany. I wasn't really wanting to get Joseph of Arimathea out, so I was having a tough time. We just added the other 2, so the last one is your Comforting Cherubs. And there's your Soul Gen, Play Lost Soul from a deck, and then you can band or draw. So you just Soul Gen and draw. Not bad. And then we have John, but he doesn't convert. He is purple. Toss is just so good. I'm glad he doesn't convert to clay, or else he'd be an absolute menace. So yeah, we don't need him. All right, so a little change. We have our artifacts that generate resources. A lot of people are really focused on their heroes right now, as I am, like rightfully so. So Confusion of Mind is extremely strong right now. Babble's also good, but because you have CBN on Confusion of Mind, it's good. 4 Drachma Coin usually goes on Peter. We try to use Denarius as early as we get it. So we can leave Book of the Law active. I always forget if that's a Herod's Temple artifact. I don't believe it is. And I love when you get good artifacts in fortresses. Like we get a good Herod's Temple, we get the Manger, we get Burial Shroud. All that's really good. We just can't fit everything. The Manger is really good right now in the meta as well, but can't fit everything. So kind of have to go back and forth on what's needed. And I think we are good. Oh, Virgin Birth was how I was getting out a hero, and that was like the main way to get Joseph. But I liked getting Hospitality of Beth. Like I liked going Virgin Birth to one piece of Bethany Trio, and then playing Hospitality and Bethany, and getting the last piece. So it's like in one attack you have the whole band, which might be better. Who knows? Defensively, I'll go over that quickly. This is fun. Like I'm using the Meek Lost Souls. I wanted a smaller defense. Like I said, Scattered Sheep and Stricken so good right now in the meta. They've always been good. Um, you will notice though that Goshen, Rexme, Ministering Spirit, and Michael, they all absolutely killed his defense. Um, like I literally have one enhancement that I can play, so this is not ideal. Just having some fun. I love Nicodemus in this build. Nicodemus is an empty tomb hero that gets to draw 3 as a hero and ban to an empty tomb hero, and it's CBN, so that's very good. Or I flip them around and I can draw 2 if blocking alone, and then I get the CBN enhancements. So still not good against Goshen, Ministering Spirit, and Michael, but CBN enhancements are extremely good right now. So very versatile character in this build. That's something fun that's just never really sees play. I don't get why it's so good. But King Balak takes Balaam from deck as territory class, so I just put him down and I get Balaam. And while a curse is active, negate OT heroes. That's nice. It's not great right now, but it is nice. Like Postivity is running around, Infinidab's running around, so it's not bad. Especially because it doesn't affect my deck. It doesn't affect most decks, but because it doesn't affect my deck and it only has potential to affect the opponent, it's good. And that's only if a curse is active, which, let's be real, if a curse is active, you're negating Old Testament heroes. If a curse is active, I'm negating your heroes anyway. So it doesn't really matter. But Balaam is CBP that uses gray enhancements, and then I can just get back. I can prevent enhancements and get back an 06. If for some reason I win that battle, then I get to keep unsuccessful after I played it. Or I can get back unsuccessful and play pretty much other enhancements if it's by the numbers. It's not a great block, but I like having Balak to protect OT Lost Souls from rescue when I can get an 06 constantly back and try to keep him alive. So he's a 613 that prevents enhancements and gets back, or that protects OT Lost Souls from rescue. I would like a way to go to Mist and like get him back as well, but we're not going to go that deep down the rabbit hole. Turn 1 block, Emperor Claudius, Nero, Lying Prophet, all really good. Even if I get Balak opening hand, then that means I get Balaam, so it's also good. Unless they get to go first, then I just have a 2-2. Saul isn't great turn 1. Neither is Pontius Pilate. They're just not. So once again, I don't think this is ideal, but it's fun to play. And then anytime I can get out resources, Golgotha is probably not great in this build. I wasn't sure exactly which way to go, but Golgotha cannot get out Nicodemus. All I can do is get out Pilate. The CBP part's amazing, especially, yeah. So Golgotha would have to go. I was going to go a different direction with the defense, and I did not. So yeah, that would go. And that's fine. We're at 52, remember? So from a deck building process, I build everything, and sometimes I'll lay it out. And you could even just go to deck editor and hit view tiled, and I'll just look. It's like, all right, visually, what do I have? It's so crazy when you look at view tiled, it just doesn't look like a big. It doesn't look like a lot of cards. But I like to see, does this make sense? Does it look good? Like kind of I like to visualize everything instead of seeing the deck list. I like visually seeing it. I like doing stacks and tiers to where I can see everything as well. But if you don't feel like doing all that, just hit view tile, give yourself a good look. What am I working with kind of thing. And then I play it. I run through. A lot of times you'll see me run 52, 53, 54 card decks with 11 or 12 cards in the reserve. And then I'm like, all right, I never used certain cards. So I just take them out. When I feel like I have a deck that is very consistent and strong, I'll run it at a tournament. And most of the time I'll check all my boxes. Like, do I have 3 Soul Gens? Do I have ways to heroes? I know Josh Portratz, I think his number is like 13 or 15 ways to a hero. And that can mean that includes your heroes. So you have 9 or 10 heroes. Patmos is a way to a hero. Virgin Birth is a way to a hero. You could have, I don't really know what else, because you have to have a hero to play a territory class enhancement. So it's probably 13. What am I missing? I think that's everything. I kind of follow my guidelines. I like 9 evil characters and 5 enhancements. This is a little smaller. I hope to get unsuccessful times 1 or 2. Like I would like to use unsuccessful as a block and then block with Balam and get unsuccessful back while protecting Lost Souls from rescue. Balam can die, and then I have unsuccessful in my hand again, and that's 3 blocks, and Burial's a 4th. I think that is good. So we can go ahead and do a quick run through just to see how the offense runs. Burial is amazing. Like I said, I really wanted Harvest Time in here because there's so many ways that I can get Harvest Time turn 1. You could play, ways to get Burial, and you could easily go Burial, Harvest Time, then Burial. That's a little 1-2 combo. You play all 7 of their Lost Souls, all 7 of your Lost Souls. You underdeck all 7 of your Meeks, and you played all 7 of theirs. It's very strong, especially if you're aggro and you have a lot of ways to dominance. You can just go like a quick Son of God Second Coming to their Imitate and Humble or Distressed, whatever it may be that you need gone, and really put you in the driver's seat. So we got all sorts of stuff. We always check our stars, right? We need to really clean up our gameplay. A big issue I have is while you're going, I'm thinking of my next turn, and I'll forget to do something. Or when I'm going, I'm thinking of what can they do, and then once again, I forget to do something that I need to. So call yourself out. Where does my gameplay lack? Where does my deck building lack? Do I make misplays? Do I make misplays because I don't know my deck? Or what is the root cause of me not winning enough games? You always have to do that. Be hard on yourself. The harder you are on yourself, the more games you're going to win. So, and talk to other people. Ask people for advice. If you're asking people for advice, don't be upset when they give it to you and it's like, oh man, you pretty much just told me I suck. So just make sure, careful what you ask for. So first we go to our stars. Now whenever so many people will look at their stars before they look at their souls. You need to look at your stars, but you need to know what souls you have. If you're going to top deck something in your deck and then you use Galileans, then why show the opponent what you just top decked? Like, why even do that? Just be mindful of what your souls are. Now here, we're just playing Meeks, so you don't need to do that. Oh, a little shout out. uh, Emmanuel, E-Man, like I don't go to a lot of tournaments. There's just, I'm not, my weakness is starting a play group. Maybe I should stay in town more than 1 week a month, and that could help. I've moved around a lot. I was prior military. I was in Middle Georgia and then moved and just constantly moving. Um, Found an awesome church, moved away. Found another awesome church, moved away. So it's really hard for me to get just planted. Um, I have another amazing church now, and I'm going to be moving. So it's like it's discouraging. Uh, I'm just not the play group type, and I want to be. So with that being said, I could not get Daniel Meek Lost Souls. E-Man lives up in Northeast. John McAleeshan's group goes to tournaments all the time, and gave me like a bajillion of these Lost Souls. So wanted to thank him again publicly. I'm big on thanking people in public. So thanks, E-Man. Um, know your souls. Know how they interact with your star abilities. We only have one star ability that we will use because we can't touch our reserve right now. So go ahead and use the best one in the game, right? Reveal to owner, the top 6. Also, be mindful of how many games are timing out right now. Defenses are better than ever. Games are timing out. You want to win your game. Two timeouts is a loss. It's what I've always said. I know it depends on how it what kind of timeout it was, or time. 2 timeouts is a loss. A timed win is good. If you get 3 timed win, it's a loss in my mind. So you need to play crisp. I don't say fast. I play crisp because you need to play, what is it, fast, slow is smooth, smooth is fast, or whatever. I know that's a lot of people say that's kind of like a dorky thing to say. I know. But sorry if you say that. I just said it. So what I mean by that is if you maximize your attacks and you have a high win percentage in your rescues, not your games, but you have a high win percentage of your rescues, you need to make sure, are you still winning the game? And if the answer is no, you're getting to like 4, or you're losing, or you're timing, then you need to evaluate, is it my play? So that's another, do root cause. Am I not losing because I'm playing too slow? Why am I playing too slow? Like, is it just me? Once again, do I know my deck? Am I indecisive? So you need to win games. You don't need to time. And if you know this is going to be hard for people. If you know you're going to lose a game, but you know you can take it to time, I'm going to respect you if you don't legally stall them. I do not like hearing that, oh, I could legally stall you. I'm not a fan of that. I don't think our game stands for that. I don't think our community, that's not what we represent. If you lose the game, be humble, accept the loss. Hey, like, good game. And that doesn't mean you like just scoop, but if you can't attack, or if there's no way you know you're going to win, then just give the person that deserved to win the win. That's how I see it. Let's see. What am I doing? Can we block? No. Can we rescue? No. What can we do? Nothing. So what helps us do something? We could take Nicodemus and go to Angel Appears, and go to Resurrection Revealer, and have a strong, and this is, once again, this is knowing your deck, right? I could take Balaam and have a block, or I can take Denarius and get a draw 3 and an Emperor. And if I get a draw 3, I could potentially have 4 Drachma Coin with Peter in that draw 3, because I'm going to be shuffling these cards first. So what is the better play? Is it Nicodemus to Angel Appears to Resurrection? Now remember, with Resurrection, I can bring in Peter and get a draw 4 off of Peter, because I can get Resurrection Revealer with Angel Appears off Nicodemus. I can then go out with Resurrection Revealer. I can grab the Resurrection, and I can play the Resurrection turn 1, and bring Peter in, and I can get a D4. And I also have a 3 woes that I would have to play as good to back me up if I don't draw anything. Now, that would be Resurrection Revealer would be 1 from my deck. The Resurrection would be 2 from my deck. The Resurrection would play Peter from my deck. That's 3. The Resurrection would play a Fortress from my deck. That's 4. And then I would have 4 Drachma Coin and draw another 4. That's 8 cards from my deck. And it guarantees me 8 cards, 4 of which are random. It gives me a Fortress. And it gives me a 2 hero band. And it gives me 4 random cards. And if needed, I have 3 woes. So I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to take Nicodemus. Instead of going Denarius, Emperor, and drawing 3 and hoping we get something, we're going to go into the bigger card advantage. So that is knowing your deck. Boom. Example. Done. Send to the bottom of your deck. And what we have to do here, now I also could have activated Book of the Law. Like before, right now I can decide, do I want to go Book of the Law? Or do I want to go, what is it? 4 Drachma Coin. If I go Book of the Law and I attack, and I play Resurrection pre-block, then I get to take a good card from my deck. You're going to block me from hand, I get to take a good card from my deck. Not bad. Or I get the 4 cards. Now, if we didn't get to go first, and I could still have Nicodemus, I could block with Nicodemus, draw 2, and have 3 woes, and get the draw 2 with a 7-9 and a negate, a draw 2 and a negate. And that's really it. Like I wouldn't even block with Saul. So if you attacked with like a Matthew turn 1, you would get a draw 1, 2, 3, 4. You'd get a D4 with a Matthew, and I'd probably try to offset that with the draw 2. Like I would probably try to get a draw 2 with a negate. But then I would get the draw 3 on my turn, and who knows. But we're going to play it as I said originally. Let's do it. Until I missed y'all, I'm getting all sorts of long-winded, right? We're going to say it's our turn first because that's what we do. We're going to protect our hand. We can leave this in our hand just because we have Balaam in deck, so he could always play the 06 prevent enhancements, and then he gets to negate heroes. Not bad. We definitely have hand advantage, and we're going to go to Resurrection Revealer. And then we get to go to right to Resurrection Revealer and to the Resurrection. Such a good looking card. We could go to Mary to where we can get something from deck. There's a bunch you can do. And you could always play John the Fisherman in this build too. It's just, I don't care for that. We also get the Good Gospel Fortress. There's a few we can go here. We don't have any. We do have a card for Empty Tomb. Like I'm trying to think. If your hero is blocked from hand, you may reserve a Gospel enhancement from discard pile. Like we would be able to get back 1 enhancement. It's whatever. Herod's Temple. We can get that out first turn. We can get out Stable. What I like to do, because this is my common play turn 1, I like having an enhancement. We'll see what we get because I get 2, And if you're 4, like no, I wouldn't be able to do that, but I really like having a play where I draw Matthew or Patmos and have a way to Simon. Because if I have Matthew in my hand, then I'm going Resurrection Revealer to Resurrection to Simon Peter. I get 4 fortresses, and then I band to Matthew. A 3-hero band, very strong. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to Bethlehem Stable with Resurrection. We're going to bring in Simon Peter. And it's 3 New Testament heroes, so we also can bring in Nicodemus as well. And first, we're going to have Simon Peter play a good New Testament fortress from deck. And we're going to want to go into Chamber, and that'll give us our turn 1 Chamber stable to where we can make sure that you're blocking me from hand. We're going to shuffle, and then our Nicodemus comes in, and he gets to draw 3. 1, 2, 3. I was really hoping to draw an empty tomb hero. That'd be freaking sweet. No one else to ban to, and then before you block, we're also going to use 4 drachma coin and draw 1, 2, 3, 4. And there we have it. That is a beautiful turn 1 hand. We don't want to use 3 woes, but we can if needed. If they could block 3 heroes, then we could use 3 woes. But that is really, really good. So there you go. We can put down Herod's Temple. We can turn over New Cove. I think we could put down Salome. Is it Salome or Salome? Salami. I got antipasta and salami. So we have 8 in hand. So I like where we're at. We have Emperor Nero for turn 1 block. And we do have an interrupt. Character may band and you may discard. So we put them in special initiative. They get to react. If they react, we do like having 3 woes right there. We get to finish the band and draw 2. So it's just a lot of early value and strong blocks, strong rescues that generate resources. And your resources, what you generate then generates more, right? 1, 2, 3. Stars, no. Lost souls, anything that interact, no. Just get yourself in the groove. What happens on upkeep? Know your cards that trigger on upkeep. Do not forget that. Do not be that person that's like, hey, I forgot. Can I go back? No, you can't. Not in tournaments, you can't. And then they're the bad guy, Each upkeep, you may take a good nativity card from reserve. Well, what do we have here? You're not nativity. You're not nativity. Nope. Ooh. 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 What do we want? When do we want it? So two of which we could take the enhancement and have a big band right away, or we could take Gabriel and also have a band. I kind of like taking Child is Born. We have Woman with Child that can take Child is Born as well. That's why another reason she's in here, because even on turn 2, she can just go straight to Child is Born. And maybe that's a little cute. Maybe I don't need it. So that's upkeep, right? Nothing else here. And now what? Do we want Denarius for a draw 3? Do we want New Covenant? It's probably something I should have recognized, that New Covenant could have taken Child is Born, and I could have just taken Gabriel. But I can still go to deck. I can ensure you block from hand and have Book of the Law. Or I can just get my draw 3 on. I'm not sure the right play. It would all depend on the board state. Or I always have confusion of mind. You know me. I like to draw. I do feel good about what's in my hand. I got Dominance. I got Banding. I got Crowd's Choice. I got Right On. I'm going to negate your neutrals. I'm going to ensure you block from hand. So really the only thing I would want is probably my Bander, to be honest. So maybe I would go... Maybe Gabriel would have been the right choice. And go into a New Covenant into Hospitality. You can't take this much time on things. Boop, 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 boop. All right. Territory class time. We do not have any good territory class enhancements. We have the one. I really like Balan's Prophecy with Burial, because then it's kind of like top deck if I want to and just keep my souls on the bottom. Also having Bethlehem Stable to play Burial and then having your hand and deck and reserve protected is nice. So we'd play a Prophecy, we'd reveal the top 6, and we get to take a star card. We don't need Virgin Birth right now because we just played our 1 TCE and we have enough that we don't need Virgin Birth. We do want that star ability though, right? We're probably going to take, we're going to take Stricken. And then if we get the draw, if you get the draw 2, then you're going to want Overcome and Joanna. But we can probably get a draw. There's a potential for a draw 3, or we might just draw everything. So just in case, that's how I would put it. Just in case I have a draw 2 only, I want to make sure I want to maximize the way to get Virgin Birth from a star ability. And if not, that's okay. We played this. It's discarded. We're going to go ahead and put Resurrection Revealer in Chamber and pop him out 4 times. Now we're not negating their neutrals because we didn't grab Gabriel. So probably something I should have thought of, getting Gabriel. But we have Stable out, so we get to bring Resurrection Revealer in and out as we need to make sure that you block from hand. And then I leave him in here the last time because I at least get to negate evil cards in your territory. That is nice. We have Herod's Temple. I think we're good here. If we really want to, we can grab Gabriel with Crowd's Choice. I don't think that's a bad play, because then we would negate your neutrals. If we needed to do that, we would. Let's just do it. Play it as good. So let's see. Yeah, this thing really moves. Like, I didn't do Matthew first turn, and is it turn 2? I've got 19 cards left in deck and a Matthew in my hand with 1, 2, 3 dominants, and I can get any other dominant with Woman with Child. So we definitely need Soul Gen in this deck. We definitely need it. But that's okay. So the last thing, it's time to attack. Now we bounced all your people. We 3 woes. Look at that. I forgot my woes. I'm over here blabbering about upkeep. And I wanted to make sure woes hit Herod's Temple. And I'm talking, I'm doing stable and all that stuff. That's what I do. I'm in my mind just blah, 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 and then I don't do stuff. So you would want to make sure 3 woes hits their Herod's Temple, because the whole point of that is to chamber Bethlehem, bounce all their guys. Okay, now they have to block from hand. And we do like having Gabriel to start, just in case they do a choose. We want to negate something that they have in territory, or we want to make sure that if they like Pontius Pilate us and leave Gabriel, that we have Child is Born in our hand, so we still have an enhancement for him. So I probably block with Gabriel to Nicodemus, because I can ban to an empty tomb hero, and I get to draw 3. Now remember, Virgin Birth is next, and now I can ban to whoever I want. And I know they're going to block from hand, so it's kind of, what do I want to do? Do I want to toss their next card and take something from reserve, or do I want to negate their characters and enhancements and then take a good New Testament card from deck? I'm not sure. Like having a 3 hero band that negates characters and enhancements that gets to take something from deck is really good. And tossing the next is also really good. Tossing the next is really good when you also have Ride On. So I think I'll go Joanna, toss the next, and then I don't need to draw 2. I can take a good New Testament card from reserve. I'm just wondering, is this when I just toss the next and play AOC? Like, that's a very sneaky block. But you don't get to maximize the potential of AOC because I just bounced them to their hand. So maybe I would just take Mary. And now they block from hand, and I can play Ride On, and I can just discard them, and they can't really do anything, assuming they block with 1. If not, I can do other things. It all depends on the situation, but that is a very sneaky block. It is very good with Joseph of Arimathea as well. So a lot you can do. Empty Tomb's fun. A lot of people don't play it, so they don't really know what it can do. So there's stuff you can do there. And then I can just show them Son of God and get my Overcome back. So Overcome would go back. Also, Bethlehem Stable. Oh, that's supposed to be Empty Tomb. Oh well, I cheated. Sorry. Don't mind the man behind the curtain. Put down Angel of the Winds. Assuming they even had a bunch of Lost Souls out, we could play the big 2. We don't want to show them Pontius Pilate. We can show them Woman with Child. And we don't want to keep our Bander down. We want to keep our Bander in our hand. And then they can block. We'd hope. Hope is not a plan, but we would hope that Saul in going to Unsuccessful is a block. But they could always Angel Lord Saul. We'll do our last little attack here. Virgin Birth, top 6. Take 1. We have our Disciples. We don't need Patmos. We don't really need anything, to be honest. We have a way to Simon as well, so we don't need to like go Angel from the Sun to Simon, because we could just play Balaam, or we could just play Virgin Birth. Yeah, we don't need to do that, because remember, King Balak's going to come down and play Balaam, or take Balaam, so we don't need to do that. We don't need to draw more. So I don't think we need to do anything. I think we can play Balak, take Balaam, miss upkeep stuff. Virgin Birth. We don't need to go to deck, so it doesn't matter really who I play it on. We can go to Simon the Zealous. And I don't think we need anything from our, whatchamacallit. Get out of here, Tyler, you doof. Hey, look at that, Empty Tomb. And you can switch Resurrection Revealer. And on the last time, when you bounce all their guys, like pretty much 3 times should do it. You can put Gabriel in there, or we can just leave Resurrection Revealer. I almost feel like we want like a Heavenly Host, or an Expatriator, or Guardians from Glory, or Comforting Cherubs. Probably Comforting Cherubs, because we're going to want Resurrection Revealer out here, Gabriel out here, and then another hero in Chamber. So I think since we can get a Nativity card with Stable, that we would want a Nativity hero. I'm not really sure. I'd have to look at it. But that's why we play it out. We do have the big band at the end, and we can bounce our Joanna with Book of the Law. Um, and we can go to just a massive band with Gabriel, bands to Nicodemus. This is very hard to stop. Gabriel to Nicodemus, draws 3. Bands to Mary, Mother of James. I really wish that we had a if blocked from hand, you may play a good gospel enhancement. I do wish we had that for Empty Tomb. I think that would put them in an elite category. And we're just going to band in like everyone. You may convert this card to Meek to band to any number. Regardless of Protect, if you convert to Meek. And Mary the Restored, negate everything, and Joanna. And I like it because I have silver, white, and clay. If blocked, you can do stuff. And then is there no CBN? Oh, I just don't have that one in here. There's no CBN hero. And then I could either draw 2 or take from reserve. I can just take from reserve. So it's really difficult to stop. So there you go. Like the first thing is tossed, everything's negated. So they would have to play something that gets tossed, and then they would have to play like a scattered, some sort of scattered like ability afterwards. So a lot of good stuff with this offense. Really gets going quick. A lot of versatility, a lot of ways to attack. I don't think people like the Empty Tomb girls as much because it's like, oh, well, they don't do as much. You can just use the Bethany trio. They do a lot. I agree. Bethany trio is really good, but you have to look outside of kind of what they're doing at face value because you can do, like they play well with silver, they play well with white. You just have, which I mean Bethany trio does as well, but the synergy with the band is really, really good. And this can be better. This is literally a draft that I had in my head that I finally got to build today. So this deck can be a lot better. I'll probably work on it a little bit more and then post it on the Discord. But I don't know which defense I would run. I'm not a fan of this defense. Doesn't mean it's bad. I'm just not a big fan of it. So yeah, this is Tomb Raider, and I hope you all enjoyed. I was excited making this video. I will have another video this week as well. Still a bunch of stuff to touch on. I really want to get more active in videos. I know I'm going to be gone for 3 weeks, but I get to come home like a Thursday night or Friday morning. And usually that Friday morning when I travel, I'm off the rest of the day. So I'm hoping that even though I travel, that I can put out some videos on Fridays with states happening, regionals about to happen, or maybe I think one might have already happened. I really want to get some good content out there of some high-level decks and a couple tricks I have up my sleeve and things that I've seen. So I hope you all have enjoyed Tomb Raider in its early draft, and that everyone enjoyed watching this. So thanks, y'all. Comment anything that I missed or screwed up on, and other than Empty Tomb being Bethlehem Stable, my bad, because I did capitalize on it by taking a nativity card. I didn't even think about it. We do want to get Empty Tomb out early, so sorry. I always cheat my videos, right? So, all right. Thanks, y'all. Bye.